Please have a seat if you have one. As the governor's heard me say before, when I first became president, I was at a major event, and I said, everybody have a seat. And the press wrote, he's just so dumb, he didn't even know there were no seats. Anyway, I'm glad you have seats to sit in because you've been standing a long time. And Mayor Scott Lund, thank you for the passport into the city. I promise I'll not abuse it. Jacob Fry from Minneapolis, where are you, Jacob? He was here. I guess he knew I was going to speak. And Melvin Carter. Minnesota's two outstanding senators, Amy Klobuchar, who is, by the way, in the Biden family, there's no woman as old as any man. So I think I know she has to be 30 to be a senator, but, you know, Congresswoman Omar, I want to thank you for being here. You never stop working to level the playing field for everybody. And you make sure no child goes hungry. And by the way, when I introduced this legislation, and she got very mad at me because I had introduced first a Build Back Better proposal, which we end up getting anyway. But she was kind of mad at me. But you love me again, right? Yes. All right. Okay. Well, that's with her husband sitting next to her too. Angie, where's Angie? There you are. And by the way, as the Secretary of Agriculture told me a long time ago, the first completely clean energy technology is going to come from farming, because what you're doing, I won't get into all that now, but it's important. It's a big deal. And these investments mean, by the way, you moms and dads who didn't have that internet available to you, next time your kid has to do homework online, you don't have to pull up in front of a McDonald's and work off their power. I'm not joking. But anybody who thinks the tax system is fair, raise your hand. All right. We found one millionaire. It's right over there. She's not married. Propose to her quickly. And I'm a Democrat, and I won 7 times for the Senate in that state. It's just paying your fair share and cutting the subsidies for specialists. Why are we subsidizing oil companies? Why are we anyway, under my plan, the last guy who had this job, he increased it by $2 trillion, the deficit. Look, my budget the budget I've introduced now reduces the deficit by nearly $3 trillion over the next 10 years. But folks, unfortunately, this is not your father's Republican Party. I have gotten, no reason why you should know anything about me, but I've gotten on well with my Republican colleagues over the years, for real. Good relationships. But this ain't your father's Republican Party. This is what I call the mega Republicans. The MAGA Republicans in Congress threaten to undo all this progress. They're putting our economy in jeopardy by threatening to refuse to pay America's bills that took 200 years to accumulate now, by the way. Not this year's, last year's, 200 years. They said they're not going to pay the bill, which would, for the first time, America would default on its debt, which would throw us not only in recession, but would be a disaster for the economy internationally. They want to cut taxes, cut more taxes for the very large corporations. They want the power we just gave to Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices. They call it a huge giveaway, and they want to eliminate it. They want to. You just turn on the television, you hear them talk. I'll turn on some channels like Fox, you'll hear them talk. That would mean ceding the future of innovation and technology to China. Well, I've got news for my mega Republican friends. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. I'm not going to let them undo the progress we've made. Look, let me close with this.
U.S. taxpayer dollars should not support companies that are willing to sell their products to abate human rights and violations, abet human rights violations.